Hey y'all, can I share my testimony? Okay, listen. So today I've been very much overwhelmed. There's a lot of good things happening, but with those good things, there's a lot of preparation that I have to do, and that preparation is just like piling on top of me. Okay, so I'm trying to think through it one day at a time, one step at a time, one thing at a time. You can do everything that you want to do, but you can't do it all at the same time, right? So I'm trying to keep that in mind, but it's still kind of overwhelming. A lot of things. There's a lot of good things. Okay, like I said, it's just a lot of preparation that's I gotta do. Okay, but my mom told me to read Philippians 4 and 8, and I read 8 and 4, 8 and 9, and it just reminded me to think on the good things that's happening instead of all the things I had to do, and also think about what I've learned from witnessing the Most High and His works and what He's done, and also walk in that light, walk in His footsteps, and do those same things. That's why I decided to do a testimony today about what has happened for me, to me this week, and it involves what happened with my car. So some people know that I didn't have my car for like 2 weeks. Something happened with my car that caused me to have to pretty much ask for a company to reimburse me the cost of damages. So basically, I got a bonus on my check, and it allowed me to do things that I wanted to do concerning whatever financial things that I wanted to do, right? And I was like, hallelujah, I got this bonus, it's great, hallelujah. I'm gonna go get my oil changed, take my car to the mechanic shop, get whatever if I need to do. But the thing about that was I needed an oil change. My oil change was already kind of late, so trying to get it into Audi, it would have been another month and a half before I got into Audi. So I was just like, I'll just go and get my oil change done somewhere else. And this is a place that I would, if I needed to go get my oil change somewhere else, I'd gotten my oil change from this place before. So go to this place, my car's driving fine, nothing's wrong, everything's good. All right, go there, tell the man, hey, I'm well aware of what's going on with my car. All I want is an oil change, because I ain't got time for y'all to try to be selling me on things that y'all say that I need and I don't really need. If Audi ain't told me, I don't want it. Okay, so I told them I want an oil change. They take my car to the back. Car's fine when they take it to the back. An hour later, they tell me the oil change is finished, but your car won't crank. My car won't crank after the oil change. That's what I hear. Okay, right? So I'm like, okay, what happened? So he proceeds to tell me, the battery is dead. And I'm like, wait a minute, my battery was fine when I got here. What happened? How did it, from oil change, my battery dead? He said, I don't know. The car is smoking. Wait, the car won't smoking when I got here. Battery won't dead when I got here. What happened? So he's like, you have to talk to my manager. So I talked to my manager, or tried to. I talked to his manager, and he's typing away, and he proceeds to tell me the price of the oil change and a new battery. Like I was just going to pay him for that, both of those things. Not gonna happen. I was like, excuse me, I need to know why my car is not operating anymore after this oil change. And they were like, well, it's a coincidence. Sometimes these things happen. The battery goes out, so on and so forth. I'm like, but it still don't make sense to me how a battery that was working fine is now no longer working after the oil change. I don't even understand how the two even, how both of them are connected, right? So I'm just trying to get clarification. So we're going back and forth over and over. I'm like, okay, whatever. I step outside, call my dad. I'm telling him what's going on, and my dad wants to talk to the guy. Dad talks to the guy, same thing. He tries to talk around the fact that something is fishy, So before too long, we realized that the manager is not trying to hear it. So and I understand it's your company, you don't want nothing, your people to do anything to anybody's car causing any damages. But if your company did do something, then it's y'all's fault, and y'all have to take care of that. So I go outside to see what's going on with my car for myself. Turns out there was a lot more going on with my car than just my battery being gone in smoke, right? So my transmission light was on, okay? There was a bunch of flooding in my car. There was black smoke coming out of my exhaust pipes. My car went to crank. It was ticking at that point, the car, I guess they cranked the car so much that it wasn't even like making the noise to even crank. So now I know my battery's gone. There's black smoke coming out of my exhaust. My car's not cranking. Everything under the hood is flooded. Okay. So I'm like, okay, now what happened? Because obviously my car wouldn't have even made it to that place if all of this stuff was going on beforehand, right? So I know that something happened with the oil change because there was nothing wrong before it, right? So they're still trying to say, we're trying to say that they didn't have any fault in it, okay? The manager comes out, he looks, and he's trying to find things that he sees up under my hood that could possibly be my fault. He tried to shift the blame on me, pretty much, right? And like, this couldn't possibly be something that we could have done based on an oil change, all right? So I'm getting annoyed. My blood is a little boiling, but I'm staying calm, okay? So they don't know what's going on. Basically, they don't know what they did, how they messed up, but I know that they messed up. So we get to the point where I'm talking to the manager in the front. He decides not to have me pay for the oil change. Okay, great, thank you, hallelujah. I'm gonna pay for it anyway, right? So he continues to insist that it's a coincidence these things happen. I was like, bro, it's not a coincidence. Something happened to my car. And he's like, well, you came in and said you knew what was going on with your car. So that makes things suspicious as to say that something was wrong with your car. I said, no. That's not what you're going to do. You're not going to twist my words around, okay? The only reason why I said that is because I know that y'all like to sell things to people. You like to find things and try to sell things to people, and I don't want none of that. So don't try to twist my words, right? So I got angry at that point. And fortunately, my dad was on the phone. He was like, don't even, I got here. Like, I was about to cuss this man out. So I left, figured out a way to get my car from there to Audi. Because I knew that Audi was going to tell me exactly what they did and what happened to my car. So fast forward, when you take the car to Audi without an appointment, it takes them a little while to get in. But I did get my diagnosis, and come to find out it was a bad oil change. I guess they thought I had, I must have had stupid written across my forehead or something. Because I knew it was a bad oil change, okay? But the bad oil change, they ended up draining my transmission fluid instead of my oil, and then proceeding to put 5 quarts of oil in my car on top of the oil that was already in my car. So that's what caused the flooding. That what caused the flooding of my spark plugs. I had to get my spark plugs changed, replaced. I had to get my starter replaced, and I had to get some transmission work done, and I had to get a new battery. Okay, so all of that, plus it took 2 weeks for me to actually get my car finished. Okay, so I had 2 weeks of doing ride share, and that was $424. Okay, so in total they owed me back about $3,400. Okay, with the damages and the ride share. Well, they told me they wasn't going to pay for the ride share. All right, even though because they caused the issues with my car for me to have to take ride share back and forth to work, they still wouldn't pay for it. So the Most High was still telling me everything was going to be good. Okay, I was going to get my money back. Everything was going to work out in my favor. Okay, of course, he was still telling me to keep in contact with him through my parents. My parents were telling me I need to, make sure I stay on top of them and things like that. And as I did. And even when, they would call me back, they tell me they would call me back and they didn't, I would call them back and so on and so forth. Glad I did, because they had the wrong address. So even if they sent me the check wouldn't have came to me. So I'm glad I did that. Walking in the will of the Most High, doing what he's telling me to do. There was a lot of advice going around, helping. I would listen, but I would get a feeling from the Most High. I say, don't do that. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that. You do what I'm telling you to do. So I listen to the Most High. So, and even me, myself, I was like, I should call them and tell them the actual, price and stuff and be more thorough and all that. And he was like, don't do that. I got you, And, but even with the blessing, there was another testimony within this testimony. Okay. So, where I work is 20 minutes away from where I live. But rideshare, it's about a $30 ride, $30 to $40 ride every day. Okay. And depending on coming back to my house from work, that might even be $50. Okay. So I was paying about between $70 and $80 a day doing rideshare because they messed up my car. So I was in a situation to where I had to be very careful with rideshare because I still wanted to have the money left over to pay for the damages on my car. So I was like, Lord, I really don't want to. I prayed. I was like, Lord, I need to find somebody that couldn't. It was hard for me to find somebody that worked with me that lived in that neighborhood, the neighborhood that I live in, because everybody lived on the north side, or they lived on the west side, or lived where my job was. And then one day I passed by this lady after one of our staff meetings, and I was like, Lord, I gotta call me an Uber, get my Uber together, but I wasn't having good signal where we were. And I was like, oof, it's hurting my feelings to have to pay a little $30-$40 right now. They're at $50. And she was like, where are you going? And let me tell you, mind you, I don't know this lady, okay? I was like, where are you going? I was like, I gotta go to this neighborhood. And it costs a lot of money, but these people messed up my car, so I'm waiting to get my car back. My car's in the shop. And she was like, oh, I live in that same neighborhood. You don't have to call no Uber. I'll take you home, and if you need me to, I'll pick you up on my way to work so that you can have a ride on the way to work. So that's another testimony in the testimony. I saved some money after a little while. The Most High answered my prayers that helped me to get to work. And the only thing most of the time I had to do was just get an Uber home because she worked later than me. And I had other things to do in the evening, so I couldn't just stay late all the time, right? But anyway, that was a blessing in it. And you know what? She told me, she was like, I walked by you that night, that same evening, and the Most High told her, you gonna help that lady. And she was like, Lord, how am I help her? I don't know her. And she did. She blessed my soul. So, and our conversations were great and everything. So I got a new friend at my job. And also, I didn't have to pay as much for the ride share. So I had just enough to pay for what I needed to. So anyway, what happened? So after finding out they weren't going to pay for the ride share, after finding out, I still was down $3,400 from them, the damages that they caused, right? So I also found out at Audi that something else needed to be replaced on my car, and I had them go ahead and do it, which my total went up to $5,100. So I was good. I was going to let them go ahead and do that thing that happened that didn't have nothing to do with the oil change, but I was going to let them go ahead and fix it since they already had my car. They fixed it. $5,100 was paid, and I sent the paperwork to back to that manager. That same manager was looking at me and was flabbergasted, I guess, because he didn't think I was gonna come back with receipts and with evidence that they messed up my car. So on him though, I had everything highlighted that they owed me, right? But he just sent it they have a whole process, so that he just sent it to his regional manager without the highlighted parts, and he sent the whole entire receipt with the $1,500 on it. Okay, so I'm concerned because I'm like, why he wanted as thorough as me? You know what I'm saying? But it was a blessing in disguise, because guess what? It took them a little while, okay, to get it together and tell me when I was going to get paid. But I got my check this week, and guess what? They paid the entire, hallelujah, they paid the entire bill, okay? And let me tell you something, they didn't have to, but if the man was thorough enough, they would only pay what they had to pay. But guess what? They wasn't going to pay for that ride share. The Most High made sure that they gave me even more money back than what I was asking for. Okay, all I wanted was the money for my damage. I wasn't even trying to take them to court and none of that stuff. I wasn't trying to do all that. I just wanted them to take responsibility for what they did. But the Most High said, yeah, y'all gonna pay for this whole entire bill. Okay, and that is my testimony. I got my whole $1,500 back. Okay, only expecting $3,400. Hallelujah! And now I can go and get everything that I needed to get done. Okay. There's some things that happen sometimes that we don't know what's going to happen. Something that has been taken from us, and it don't have to be monetary. Monetary. It can be something that was, something that was spiritually taken from us, and it could be from people, from an entity, from a thing. And the Most High, if we walk in His light and we walk in faith and we walk with Him, He will either make them people repay you, make them people repay you 2 times, what they supposed to, or He will give it to you in some other way. Right? And all we got to do is be in His will. Walk in His light. Listen to what He's saying. Cut out all the distractions. And you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get annoyed. You're going to wonder. You might even worry a little bit, but you keep praying and you keep fasting and you keep holding on to what the Most High is telling you, and everything will work out. This is the year of turnaround victories for me, y'all. When I say last year, was a struggle, this is a year of turnaround victories for me. Hallelujah. And I'm grateful for it. All right. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath. And many, many more days. Greatness. We got a little bit till 2024, but I speak victory in your life. Prosperity, endurance, resilience, strength. Okay? Y'all go out here and win. All right? Shalom.